we need the paperwork for donation night, but then we won't get the new sheets until after that.
Doing this for a while.
We have,
A
we
little
meet
bit.
next
So
Saturday
because
as
then
well,
they
right?
go through and change the numbers.
This is
So
public.
Okay.
if the council changes anything,
It's televised. The public can show up. They don't usually speak.
I don't remember now. Do we get them?
Okay.
And usually
think-
Call to order the Budget Committee meeting for March 13th, 2025. And we have, I don't have any minutes to hand out, but we can do those at a later date. Approve those. We have to tonight. We'll do a roll call, and Lisa Strubing,
Here.
Pam Smith,
Present.
Joe Paul here, Heidi Watson,
Here.
Carol Wag,
Here.
and Chris Parrott. Here. And I think the next thing we should probably do is review questions for the capital projects that we had from Monday. I have answers for those. I left a sheet and everybody's there. Those questions and responses. Didn't print out my answers, but one for general administration, the answer for money that was previously budgeted for the boiler or roof repair, that's being answered in the operational portion of that. Door lock system. It's also in another email, so I guess now I think I forwarded that to everyone except myself.
So when did you forward that?
Yeah, I don't think I have that one.
I don't.
Okay, I guess I'll do it now.
I think the last one I have is the budget spreadsheet.
What is he looking for?
The answers to the questions, the doors.
Oh, okay. Did not receive that.
So the 50,000, wasn't that in general administration in the capital projects? Probably should have answered that one.
Okay, I think I forwarded the questions, the budget committee capital project. Well, we want to
Yes, it is.
maybe take a look at that.
Can I have someone read those out loud? I didn't bring a laptop. I don't have a phone.
Sure.
Thank you.
So first ones that I sent. Question was, what percentage of impact fees can be used for line items in public safety and parks and rec? And the answer is, it's at the discretion of the department head of how much they want to use of impact fees and what is available in the capital budget. And my second question was, can impact fees be used for public safety? And their answer is yes, but currently only for the new ambulance based on the ordinance.
Can you read that answer one more time?
Impact fees can be used, but currently only for the new ambulance based on the ordinance.
I want to change that.
I think some of these may be grouped with operational budget also, but I guess we can go through that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
How much money has been used from the 50,000 previously budgeted for the boiler and roof repair? What has it been used for? No money has been used yet. Damage was more extensive than expected in the roof, which is why I need to borrow more funds to complete the repairs, replacement correctly. It was recommended by the HVAC company that we replace the original boiler with one that runs on propane for a more economical and efficient system. Then we could reuse heating fuel tank to be used for more capacity for on-road fuel. Next was, why does the whole door lock system need to be replaced? Current system cannot be upgraded? Question. Answer is, door lock system does not need to be replaced. This is an add-on to allow for locking down the interior doors as well as allowing for monitoring them. It was always going to be a multi-step process, with first purchasing enough to do 3 exterior doors. Then we added more locks to the interior doors, and now we are adding on to allow for the functions stated above. These functions can happen, but each door must be visited individually and then uploaded to the system. This isn't feasible in a lockout situation, or to keep the locked batteries updated. If batteries fail, the door cannot be opened. This such scenario took place with the boiler room door. This project is to make the system more functional. So it sounds like a lock system can be upgraded.
Isn't there an issue with the panel or something that couldn't?
Yeah, the new system, they'll be able to call and say lock the building, and one click they'll be able to lock the building with the new.
Current panel needed to be replaced,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, so that's gonna be upgraded, not
Not replaced.
complete system, not all
Not
of it.
replaced, it's just upgraded.
Right.
Joe, you said you forwarded that to us? What you're reading right now? You didn't?
Didn't I just do it?
No, I didn't get it. It's okay. Maybe did you get it?
I didn't get it.
Sorry, Joe.
Does that?
No, I didn't. I get something at 4:56.
Same minutes.
Yeah, I get the minutes.
That's when I got my last stop, was 4:56.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Forward this again.
Did you get the minutes?
I got the minutes, yeah.
So then, I have a question on the the $50,000 that did not get spent because the roof needed more repair, we're up to about $200,000 now because they asked for an extra 140
Sounds like 140 and the 50.
plus the 50, so about 200 grand. Does that mean that that project has to go out to bid? So it could end up costing less than that? At what point do they send projects out to bid? I know there's a
70.
70, okay.
So, yes, I don't see it. And I guess maybe I lost some email.
Joe, what section of the budget are we looking at that has
The
these numbers?
capital.
The very
the
last
capital.
section.
Very last section?
Am I wrong?
Yes,
Yep.
page,
Capital projects?
Yep.
Okay.
page, what is it, 270 something?
Yep, 267,
67.
So we,
like page 268, 269.
And I don't know if yours is the updated version from our meeting or not, because we've all made notes on things that the council passed that day of the meeting. Like on this specific page, page 268. On Saturday, we should get new pages with these updated amounts, but $140,000 instead of $109,000.
for boiler,
Yes. What do you have?
boiler's 100.
It should be 140.
What's that?
Yeah,
Should be,
it's
they
up-
raised it.
40. They upped that.
It's now 140?
140.
They upped it.
Yes.
They upped it at last Saturday's meeting.
140.
Yep.
And what about the door security is now what?
It's the same.
Stays the same.
We just had questions because they talked about possibly needing a new panel,
Okay.
and they're not replacing it, they're just upgrading it.
And then the parking lot lighting, we're still,
I did get a response on the lighting, today. Thought I did. Yeah, quick
Yeah, we
response.
got that in here.
Oh, it is?
But the lights, yeah, said half of the lights need replacement.
They're not, but there was another question too, but they're not moving away from LED lights.
Right.
Right.
Yep, he doesn't know where that dialogue came from. The current LED lights are being replaced with more LED lights. Excuse me.
So the capital questions were the boiler repair,
Mhm.
the impact fees, progression on road pavement, which I guess are all caught up, right?
Yep.
Is that it?
I get
There was a question on the road paving, what the progress was, and if they were complete from the last year and the prior year to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Caught up.
currently caught up from past year's backlog. The only paving left to be completed are the roads the town voted on in June of 2024. And these roads have already gone to bid. Work is scheduled to start May 2025, but they probably won't be done till around October because of when the money comes in. And I can't forward the email because can't connect to Wi-Fi.
That's weird. Here's the password. Do we need it right now? Would it be helpful to everyone, or could we wait till later?
Oh, I'm fine.
He just
We
read
just
them.
read it
Yeah,
to
I'm
us.
okay.
I'm okay.
We can do it later.
Yep.
Never had that problem before. Are we set with capital projects answers?
You said 70,000 is what goes out to bid. So they will have to put the boiler out to bid. So it may come in less than 200. Okay.
It's being engineered right now. They've got an engineer working on it. So I don't know what that means. If they've already put it out to bid, I don't know what that means. I don't think it's
I
gone out
don't
to
think
bid.
so. They put the engineering out
Okay,
just to have it done.
okay.
But it's a state requirement because of the building. It's a public building that it has to be engineered.
Works for me.
I move that we approve the capital outlays budget as listed in the book.
Second that.
Any discussion?
Is this all of the capital items?
Yes, in the last
Everything in
part.
that section.
Everything in that section, now that we have our questions answered.
So it would, it would be public safety, general administration, parks and rec, public works, and highway and road improvements.
And what's the adjusted total? I mean, is the only one increased, is that general administration?
Ye- uh,
What's your question?
Yes, and then.
Yes,
That's the only one that increased,
the
and then
total?
the,
general administration was increase the boiler repair from
Right.
100 to 140.
So the total there is now 196,342?
Yes,
Okay.
but a couple others, one decreased as well. Parks and Rec decreased.
Parks and Rec, that decreased by,
Should be 435,000, I think.
By how much did you say?
the total was,
It decreased by 78.
I don't think so. It decreased by 5,000, right?
Or yeah,
Or
18.
10,000, it
Yeah, so-
decreased 10,000.
So it's 435,000 for the Parks and Recreation capital? Yes.
435?
Yes.
And the others stay the same?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the total would be 22,000 higher?
I think it's 17,000 higher total. Up 40 and down 23.
Any other questions? Thought I had one and it's gone. Oh, we'll move this forward as amended by the council. Now, they heard,
Well, there's a motion and seconded.
yes.
Is
Now we
your,
just have to vote on it.
your motion is as it was amended by the council?
As
Correct.
amended by
Yeah.
the council.
All in favor? Now, I guess I have
So that's done.
a question. Do we have, although we're moving it forward as amended,
Mm-hmm.
As amended.
are there any recommendations that we want to make? Maybe not changing any dollar amounts, but anything else?
Yes. For the next budget,
Mm-hmm.
I want more information. Because the information that we asked all of these questions, we shouldn't have had to ask as many questions. The information should be here for us to see. We could have passed this the last time we met, but we couldn't because the information's not in this
Yeah.
book. And again, I cannot say enough that I have never seen a budget like this, written like this. If there is nothing to hide and we are being transparent, then why not give it to us up front? Why do we have to continuously ask questions about things? That's my biggest issue. I have never seen a budget like this.
Agreed.
That's my recommendation.
It says it right on the form. Support your request.
It does.
Right.
It does.
And
I
we
read
meant-
that at the last meeting.
And yeah, we mentioned this last year as well.
Every section has that.
I noticed that looking through it. There was no discussion as to changes in the budgets for each area.
Well, wait till we get to the operating budget. We've got questions as to how many chairs they need and how many computers they need and, I mean,
But again, all of this should be in here.
it's supposed to be
The
per
only
unit.
justification I read was, for
Right.
things was the town manager's letter at the beginning.
Exactly. However, they have this on every one of these.
Everyone
Departments.
has that box.
Support for budget requests. Provide justification for the budget. Request using as much detail as necessary to support it. We have nothing to support their requests. Absolutely nothing.
Makes you wonder if they went through that process.
There's some things that we can't prove because we don't have answers
Mhm.
to the operating budget
The operate, yeah,
questions,
Yeah.
some areas. And maybe more.
and I forwarded those, the ones that you
Yep.
sent this afternoon. I forwarded those to town manager and finance director. And
So when we're,
you don't see it because I can't send it to you. But
Yeah.
yeah,
there are
Yeah.
answers
okay.
to quite a few of them, but
Yeah, there were a lot of questions.
when I get home, I'll,
But you have them so that when we ask the question, you can read what their answer was.
yes, as long as I can get to it here.
There you go. And as we're going through the sections too, if you have questions, the expectation is that when we attend, you have to take notes. When you're asking a question, you have to listen to what they answer and write down as much as you can. So we all have notes in our book. So if something pops up, don't
That's
hesitate
right.
to ask.
Right.
We can give
For-
you what we have, but
For example, in assessing, there's a half a position
right,
in assessing,
it's supposed to be shared.
half of a position in general administration. Are they the same person? Are they different people?
That's
They, they were gonna
don't know.
share, I think.
a
Yeah.
new position
Yes.
Yeah,
in assessing and where?
general administration.
Okay.
So
So-
the front desk would get half of this person and then assessing would get half.
And then there's
I
a
did
new one
notice a
in
big jump
code
in
enforcement.
assessing.
Which section are we moving on to?
Well, just for example, that we gave
Oh,
for
okay.
assessing, that we talked about the other night.
We don't have,
Which is a question that Joe has presented for answers.
Yes.
is that
So
where we're,
we'll get,
is that where
we'll-
we're going?
we'll
Shared
get
with
the answers to
general
them
data.
probably.
Well,
Oh, he doesn't have answers yet.
I have quite a few answers now. I just have to be able to access.
Okay.
Are you online on your laptop?
I don't think so. Because I don't
Like all
have
the job
everything.
descriptions too.
Like to have a lot of stuff.
So which section are we gonna move to?
I have town clerk.
Town clerk.
Okay.
We're gonna go through page by page, or is it just the whole section in one go?
Oh, we did page by page
Okay.
on Monday, so,
Excellent.
and we just went through if anyone had any questions.
Oh, okay.
We could go over that, but I didn't go line by line.
Okay, no,
So if anyone has any questions on salaries,
COLA's pretty standard.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna be 3.5%, I think it was this year.
Sounds about right.
It's only 2.5%.
Page 63. Oh.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you asked what page.
I didn't have any notes in that section either. It was pretty
No.
straightforward.
Yeah, so unless anyone has any notes.
I don't have any. Mary hit on everything.
Yep.
I don't know anything.
And I also didn't have any questions or suggestions about it.
Fine, or
The clerk.
clerk.
Make a motion to approve town clerk section of the budget.
Second.
All in favor? Finance, next.
Can I just ask a question on procedural question? Since the town council hasn't officially given us the operating budget, can we move things forward already without us receiving it officially? Because we received the operating budget on Saturday. We're supposed to.
Right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, probably can't move
Oh,
it
okay.
forward, but we can.
Well, we have no questions on, so that's good.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good.
Good question, Heidi. Thank you.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Jump right into it.
Okay.
yeah, I just figured how.
Yeah,
All right, where are we at?
Finance.
finance. I didn't have anything there. Who moved it?
My only note was the $2,100 for personal cell reimbursement versus $80 for a cell phone. But they said you can't force someone to carry two phones, which I don't agree with. It's your job to carry a phone, you carry a damn phone. But
Really? They said
Yeah.
that? I missed that. That's interesting.
What's that in?
They did say that, they couldn't force, I have to carry two phones.
yeah, I have to carry a phone at work.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was my only concern was the cell phone reimbursement of $2,100 on page 73. But it's because he does not want to carry, or the employee does not want to carry 2 phones. So it's a $2,100 reimbursement versus a much cheaper cost to provide him with a cell phone. Which I don't know that I agree with, but,
2,100 is a lot for a cell phone.
It is.
and yeah, that's just reimbursement.
Is that just one person?
Yeah.
I mean, $30 a month.
That was my only note.
That was one phone.
So, that was only one phone.
And if you look in, was it general admin have phones?
Is this phone for the finance director or the finance staff?
Staff. But yeah, when I asked, they made it sound like there's nothing you can do about it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's accurate, but
Now, I can make that a note and ask again, just to double check, I guess.
This may be a silly question. Who makes those policies for the town? Who makes the policies for the staff? Like as a business owner, right? I can say policy is we'll provide your own phone.
Yep.
Provide a phone, like we'll pay for it. You can have your own personal phone, but we're gonna have a phone for you when you're on the clock.
When you're at work, you're on the work phone.
So who, is it personnel committee? Is it ordinance? It must not be ordinance. It must be personnel committee.
Some of it is probably personnel.
so I guess my issue is this with that. They should be keeping their personal business and their finance or business separate, especially when it comes to finance. It's like I have to carry 2 phones because we have confidential information that I can't have on my personal phone, and I shouldn't have there. And same thing with the town. If you're sending text messages back and forth, that's on your personal phone. It
Yeah.
shouldn't happen that
Yeah.
way. It's like
Yeah.
you don't allow certain communication apps either.
Yeah.
Specifically because of an end-to-end encryption or not. What is actually private, confidential, and what isn't.
And the other cell phones in other sections, they're $600 for the year. So that's quite a big jump. 1,500 extra bucks because they don't want to carry a phone. In my opinion, it should be part of the job, but I don't know that we can dictate that. But we can
could
ask, right?
make a suggestion
Who's
too.
Suggestion.
And part of that could
finance.
be the employee
But I don't quote me on that.
Finance director.
policy.
Yeah, can we could suggest that?
Yeah.
And we'll make a note of that.
Yeah, ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, suggestion to explore more cost-effective policy for the
Mm-hmm.
town staff, especially the finance department.
Yeah. Because that's gonna save money with record keeping as well. You have to keep track of your personal calls versus your business calls so that you don't intermix the two. It's gonna be a savings in labor hours and cell phone.
Okay, I'll ask that. Move on to planning. Well, I don't know if this is something we can ask or how it will come up. But planning board stipend is only $3,000 a year.
And that's for all 7 members.
That's
Right.
divided by 7.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about $35 if they only had one meeting a month, but they usually have site walks,
Sidewalks.
workshops.
Mm.
And there's 7, I believe, members. I would like to, um, make a suggestion. And when we get to the operating, when we receive it, I'd make a motion to increase them to exactly what the town council is currently at, which is $10,500 for the year. And that, I know it seems like a really big jump, but at least it would be like,
It'll even it out, and their meetings run
sometimes super long, right?
3,
Yeah.
3.5, 4
And
hours.
town councilors aren't, walking around in, vernal pools and swamps and all that other stuff, so.
And driving all over. and-
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
country back roads, wear and tear on your own vehicles.
So,
I would second that.
so when I saw that, wherever the council is,
$428.
I wanted to increase the council by 500 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be against that, but I'm thinking maybe
Let's give it to the planning board.
Did that go?
at least that much.
Council?
Yeah, it was
Discuss that?
4-1. Oh, 3-1.
3-1.
3-1, yeah. One was out.
So, yes, when we get to
Yeah, when we get to town council.
operational recommendations,
No, we talked
if
a little bit about
everyone,
Does that number, like, make sense?
It does for me. They do a lot of travel, a lot of mucking around in their own gear, wear and tear on their own vehicles, dirt roads, a lot of country, bug bites.
So $1,500 a meeting. I mean, $1,500 a year.
A year, yeah, it'd be like,
Per,
yeah,
per,
yeah.
not, yeah,
yeah.
per person.
so what number did you come up with?
Same as the council.
Same as
50
Same as the council,
1,500
yeah,
times 7.
as it sits right now, so would be $10,500 a year. That's
So-
what I would like to see it at.
So increase 7,500?
Yeah.
I got a question, first time looking at this, but in the past, did they, when they provide this budget, I see they got a column for department request and manager request, but there's no column for the prior year. They only put a prior year number, a aggregate number up above. I think it would be much more useful for us to have a column that shows what was spent the prior year.
We agree.
Okay.
Yes.
We totally agree.
We have this paper,
That's what,
That-
that's why you get chuckles out of.
we have, a document that shows us what they've spent so far and what's like, what percentage they are through the budget.
Well,
don't know if you
and they
got
show that on the aggregate at the beginning of the budget, the prior, what was spent the prior year, but it doesn't break it out like it
Right.
does
Right.
by department
Right.
and by column. I mean,
It would be nice to have
would be
a
a sim-
third column.
I mean, they've already aggregated all that information, so they have it.
Mhm.
It's just, it would be a lot easier for us to make comparisons.
Chris, do you need a copy of those papers to have before Saturday's meeting? I can get another copy from Mary, and I've looked at them. Do you have a copy of these?
I don't know what those are.
Okay, you want to pass those down to him?
She didn't.
In your little,
Look.
in this here, right here, do you have in this inside of your front
Oh,
pocket?
I didn't get that.
I'll grab another copy. Keep in mind that some of those numbers, based on what we've gone over, will have changed for, I think it's the last column, but that's the breakdown that we get at the start of budget.
Okay. Okay, so you got the original revised is what we're looking at, and then the column that says year to date, that's the current calendar year, or the current fiscal year,
Yes.
June to June.
Looking at it.
June to the end of May, but yes, June to June. Well, yes, June to June.
June to June.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's,
30th.
and what's MTD?
Month to date.
Okay.
And Steve Nesbitt is very fabulous at understanding all the codes for what all these mean. But like the for 2024-13, which is, I had no idea, I asked the other day right here. He said that was the final for that year, so to speak, that whole fiscal year. And then the 7, am I wrong that that's 7 months into the budget? It's, yes, yeah. Steve will correct me.
Right.
I'm sure you
The-
will.
2024-13.
Yes,
The final.
yes, yeah.
Yes, it's the 13th month when they pay all the
Yep.
extra bills.
So did we have any other questions in the planning section? I didn't have.
We
any.
didn't get to it
No, okay.
on whatever night we met. We did not get to this.
Okay.
Section.
Right.
Right, they did lower, can be the
I work Q planning
planning
module.
modules, yep, can be lowered to 3,500.
3,500.
They did vote on that.
Page are you on?
83. Yeah, and it's because the $500 was the initial setup cost, so it won't cost 4,000.
Planning module is now what?
3,500.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep minutes, but if there's questions also, I can write those down so I get them to you faster this time.
Do we remember on page 84? I have a note that says the gravel pit inspection is also in revenue because the pits pay for these.
I have that same note.
Okay, so does that mean that this $10,000 is in here twice?
No, it says it's in revenue would be income, not a,
Oh, okay.
right? Revenue
So,
is
so
income,
this
not
10,000
an
comes from
expenditure.
Mr.
So it
Okay.
just washes it out.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
Thank
why
you.
it says 0.
if it washes it out, why do they have $10,000 here?
I think they have to put it there in order for there to be,
Oh, a record of it?
yeah,
Okay,
It's more or less a placeholder.
yeah,
all right, thank you.
like the donations snowmobile thing.
That was all I had, just that one.
On to Fields Board.
So I have that planning number went up a total of $7,000. Is that what other people have?
75.
It went up 75, but then it went down 5 for the.
Planning number? What are we, what page are you?
It went up on page 81 and it went down on page 83.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Right,
yes.
so-
Ice.
Net increase $7,000. Okay. Where are we next? Appeals board. Appeals board.
I believe
I had nothing there.
I had nothing.
I don't have any questions in this area either.
Yeah, there.
Okay. Building maintenance. Again, nothing in this section. Anyone have anything?
I do have a note that on page 105, those are subject to change because we're waiting on estimates with the new fuel prices on page 105. And I also have on page 100, they're negotiating for new spring contracts with CMP, so that's gonna be a rough estimate too.
Right.
Yep. Does Gorham contribute to any of our stuff when it comes to contractual? I have a note on mine that says we plus our share to Gorham for like fire stuff, facility maintenance repairs, fire alarm prevention, extinguishers, HVAC and controls. I have a note that says plus our share to Gorham. So is that,
Do we share a vehicle maybe or a station?
it might be a
Yes,
station.
it's a station
Okay.
Station, I
by the
think.
library, on Standish Neck Road.
Okay, so these prices then must include our share to Gorham. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Thank you. I have nothing else in that section.
Anyone else? I'll go to law enforcement. No, wait a minute.
Public safety.
I skipped one. Public safety.
So we
this
had
is-
questions about
yeah,
this.
we had
Did those get
questions.
answered?
About how many people were per fire paramedic.
No, I can't see it.
So the questions were, I have the questions here. How many paramedics do we have?
There were in total, or
We want a clarification on it.
because they said during the meeting we had 4 full-time paramedic firefighters, 4 full-time advanced EMTs, and 4 basic firefighter EMTs.
Yep. And they want to add 4 more.
Would you say 4 paramedics?
4 full-time paramedic firefighter,
Yeah,
4 full-time advanced EMT firefighter,
yeah,
and then 4 full-time basic firefighter EMT.
currently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what they're proposing in this budget.
Oh,
Okay, where are we? Public safety?
109.
Public safety salaries, 109, 110.
Well, I got my
do we know what they have now?
stuff in.
I wrote down last year, but there's one that's a question. And I think the goal was 4, but they had 2. So they had obviously 1 fire chief, 1 officer, 4 full-time paramedics, 2 advanced EMTs, 1 office assistant, and 4 firefighter EMTs. And then, but I thought that last year they had openings. They were trying to hire people.
Yeah,
And I don't know, maybe they have hired those people and that's why this is the 4 extra 2 is in here. And what was I gonna say? That's it.
I also have that they wanted to add them for half a year this year and maybe full-time next year. So this would only cover half a year salary.
They've used a lot of people per diem,
Mhm.
which can be a like higher cost to us. So I think it's wise to have.
Yeah, because they said in 2024, they did 2,400 emergency calls and 200 to 300 animal control calls. That's quite a lot. So yeah. I have a note on 110 that says it's either fire call or full-time holiday pay reduced by 500 hours. Does anyone else have that note?
What page was it?
110.
10?
I don't remember if they said that they were asking for less because they're reducing it by 500 hours. I did not put a very clear note in there.
I didn't put it.
Okay.
Greece. Oh, this is the shares. That's big, that's a lot. Both years. But more this year.
Guess I'm not quite clear as to why the big jump this year in salaries.
What page are you on?
272.
Well,
110.
110,
Oh, 111.
Yeah, 110. No, what? Yeah, 110.
because of the added people.
On what page are you on?
110? Down on the bottom?
Oh, right here. Oh, you're looking at salary though,
Yeah,
so it's 110.
right. So they're going from increase of 261,000.
They had a huge jump last year too.
Yeah, last year's increase was 261,103. This year's 261,512.
Is that more people?
A big part of it is more people.
Mhm.
Yep. And Heidi was saying last year we had a lot of calls that were per diem. And they're trying to head that off by hiring more people.
The per diem budget is increased though. as
Oh, is
well.
it?
Yeah. By about $12,000.
Mm.
Where do you,
Page 110. I have my old budget book with me from last year, so I can see what was proposed last year and what essentially passed. And then this year's proposal. I'm just comparing the numbers.
so you're looking at the paramedic per diem and the,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Which maybe we'll still need that. I don't know. We don't have like a chart of like, what, or information on what have the calls changed gradually over time, over the,
Mm-hmm.
past 5 years or so.
Yeah, he just gave us the call numbers from last year, and then he said it's hard to keep people on full time, so they have to bring them on more when they can.
Yeah, and it's not something where there's obviously it's just pointing these things out, but it's not something where I wouldn't feel right about, yeah,
No.
making any cuts. They do a really amazing job, and on my way here, maybe that's why I was like just barely on
were on their
time.
way out.
They were on their way out, and so I had to pull over. But obviously, yeah, I'm thankful for all the work they do.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope that maybe
We're having
we'll
a
see.
look the other night.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see a decrease in the future in the per diem stuff if we can hire these full-time people. Just hope that we can get them here and keep them happy,
Mm-hmm.
take care of them, do our part to help make that happen. You know what, the part of the big increase is that holiday pay overtime.
And that's, so it's really hard. You can't really get rid of
No,
holiday pay overtime.
it must be
either.
because of more people. That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Because if it wasn't a 24/7 operation, you
Yeah,
could, but
yeah.
it's,
I mean, we can certainly ask and get clarification on that. I'm pretty comfortable that that's what was said.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
why salaries went up so much?
With the more people.
Yeah,
We're asking.
yeah. Last year's head count, current head count.
Yeah.
Per diem.
I think I'm gonna add to that. Do we foresee the per diem needs going down with hiring more people?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Is there within this, I don't know if any of you would know, is there like the possibility of them doing within their budget, like a hiring bonus or something like that? Like who gives them those capabilities?
I can't answer that question.
It's probably not,
Not in the budget.
it's probably not in there.
I think that would have to be,
It would have to
it'd
be
have to be
budgeted.
in the budget, yeah.
Have to be a line item for
Yeah.
bonus, but I don't know. I guess the town manager would,
Town manager could
Uh,
recommend it.
along with the fire chief.
And usually there's a stipulation, they have to stay,
Yeah, for so
they
long.
they get part of it up front. If they stay for 6 months, they get the other part. If it's a year, they get, yeah. I know a lot of the police departments do that.
And that, maybe that would be something that, should be discussed with the personnel committee. Or all three.
I also have a question on page 120.
Well, before we get there, 116, Steve had a question about the engine 4 pump rebuild.
Rebuild.
Saying
Yeah.
it was in last year's budget.
It was, but they spent, last year they had to spend that money on general maintenance. That's why they ran over in their expended. They had extra general maintenance they had to pay for.
Okay,
That's
Yeah,
why
because
it's
it
in,
was 90% spent.
okay.
So they,
Yeah.
they were running over.
Thank you, Lisa.
yes. And then on page 120, I didn't think to ask when Rob was here. The turnout gear, I have 76 people getting turnout gear.
Probably.
Are all of them on all the time? Do they take their turnout gear home?
It's fitted per person usually, especially if it's the fire department.
It's not like small, medium, large, they're fitted uniforms?
Well, turnout gear isn't
That's
a
like the helmet,
uniform.
that's the
It's-
helmet and the jacket and stuff, right?
Yeah,
So they don't just come in small, medium, large?
no, especially when it comes to like hats and they have to be sized to their head usually.
Okay.
That's what the PDs do. So I imagine the fire department is very similar.
Okay. Is that something that we can ask? Does everyone has to have their own set because it's fitted like that? Which would make sense. But if I didn't know, a lot of people in town won't know.
Everyone does have to have their own set. They don't
But they are, I
swap
mean,
from you to me to,
I don't want to go into a
Back
fire with
to
somebody
you.
else's gear that isn't maintained. They're expected to maintain their own gear. And so if they're borrowing somebody else's gear, how do you know it was maintained? I mean, you'd like to
Part
think
of the
that it
job.
was, but you'd
not-
like to think
not
it
to
was,
borrow
but
from someone.
No, but if you're sharing gear, it's like sharing an office. You put stuff back where you got it. You use something, you clean it up and you put it back. But
That's-
I understand if that's not the way it works. I
Yeah.
asked the question because if I didn't know, there's people in Standish who don't know either why we're paying for 76 sets of gear. So I just want to make sure that we get that clarified. And it would make sense if it's fitted. That would make sense.
Plus, I think it probably could be an OSHA regulation that you
100% could be. Yeah. I just don't know why.
can't swap gear like that.
And because it's a little pricey, it's good to know. And then on page 124, I keep coming back to the knock boxes.
So did we.
They didn't say they're broken. They didn't say the system is broken. They said, these are cool, they're better. But he also said, if you lose a key, it's $20,000 fee. Who pays that fee?
I'd like to see us, I like the idea of it, but it was brought up at the last meeting about like the locks here. I would like to see, and we talked about this also, having there be like research. Did you, what other towns? I heard Buxton was mentioned that Buxton had them.
And he said
Do
Portland
they,
too.
do they love them? Do they have issues? But on the other side of that, like, you know, say a school has an issue, the schools are all locked. You know what I mean? Like, they need to have
Mhm.
access into these buildings.
Mhm. Which they
Um,
do. They currently do.
Right.
Yeah. And that was my other question. The keys that are on the buildings, the businesses are responsible for those, right? The fire department doesn't go over and put those up so they can get in. So if it's the businesses that are doing that, the businesses should pay for this a more secure system or whatever they want to call it. I don't feel that I should pay for a special key for a business to be on a fire truck when the current system works, especially if they've not had issues with it in the past. I understand, you know, everyone has a code to punch in, so it's easier to track down or whatever, but if you've not had a, don't fix it if it's not broken, is my adage when it comes to $1,800 a box. And then my other question was, do they have to get new keys for the buildings in town? Because there's 2 keys per box. Is it the same master key still for every box in town? Do things have to get rekeyed? Yeah, there's not enough information on the Knox boxes.
That was a question that we emailed. Did that get an answer? Do you remember? You don't have to look for it. I don't want you to, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
We just wondered if there was.
Do it later.
An answer yet, was there?
I sent a whole list of questions on those Knox boxes. I really did.
Let's,
You didn't get anything back?
Not yet.
and they apparently needed 14 times 1,800, so that's $34,000.
Yeah,
14 more.
Right, 14 more.
plus 20
That's
grand
a
every
lot.
time a key gets.
So what was the 20 grand for the key? What did that key go
missed
to?
That's one of the ones that's in the thing. If you pull a key out and you lose it, or you don't
To
know
a
where it went,
business,
it's
it's
$20,000 to replace that key. Who pays for that? Taxpayers pay for that? Businesses pay for that?
What key goes missing?
There's a box that they're gonna mount into a truck, and they'll punch in their code and they'll pull a key out that will let them get into the box on the side of the building to get that key to get in the building. That's my understanding. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's 100% accurate, but if they lose the key that they pull out of the fire truck, 20 grand is my understanding. And they want to start with 5. And I just don't know like where that 20 grand would come from to replace the key. And I think we need more information before I'm comfortable saying yes on those. Maybe they get information and push it to next year.
Can I asked this the other day, but I don't know if we're, and maybe we're not ready to even make that or talk about it. But if they get us the information and if we decide it's, you know, our recommendation, obviously, we just make a recommendation and the council can do whatever they wish. Would you think that just getting the 5 to try it out is best, or would you recommend just doing the whole 19 all at once?
I would do 1.
Okay.
I would do 1, but that's me. But if they get us all of the information, I would be open to discussion on 5. But without knowing more information right now, I'm a goose egg.
At least I can't remember. Did they say the current system is failing?
No, he didn't. He said this one is nicer because it is what it is.
Yeah, I
It's a-
remember him saying they want to try it out.
Yeah, it's a different system to get in. Everyone is assigned a code, so everyone will punch in their own code, so they'll know who's been in the box, how long the key has been out, when it was returned. Whereas right now they don't do it that way. It's you trust your employees. In an emergency, you get the key and you put it back.
So I'm wondering if we tried one out, if perhaps the company would loan us that for a certain amount of time
Yeah.
if we promise to purchase them from that company.
I don't know. That's a lot of money. I don't know that we could make that promise, but it certainly would be worth a shot asking, you know, until we can get more information on them.
See how a business would do that. Quite
Well,
frankly.
It's a pricey system. They might think it's worth it. But
maybe.
yeah, I tried calling the Portland. They don't really like it when you ask about their keys.
Well,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't recommend.
Don't
don't
ask
recommend
them
it.
about their keys.
Her number got put on the list.
That's a red flag.
I should have walked in, but yeah.
That Lisa Strubing person.
Yeah, they're like, we don't discuss that.
She's in big trouble.
Yeah, don't do that.
Lisa, you were now on a watch list somewhere.
Exactly.
More than that. All right. So, Chris, are you familiar with the Knox boxes that we're talking about?
Nope.
All right. I don't know if they gave that to us.
I don't think he gave us
I don't
any
think he gave us
information.
anything.
We'll forward you the email.
That's the $9,000.
Yeah. Yep. We'll forward you an email that's got the
Email.
information we got from it. I still didn't get an image or a picture. He said there were two images. This one is the one we currently use, and this one is the new one. I don't have a picture of the one they currently use.
And we don't know if there was a budget item for that last year?
There was
No,
not.
there was
wasn't.
not.
There was not.
This is something new this
They
year.
want to try,
Sure he didn't
and
give
if
us
they
anything.
like it, it'll be
didn't.
$20,000 next year.
They told us, he told you that?
Yep.
It would go from 9 to 20?
Because we're only getting,
They'll kit out all the vehicles.
right.
This is, want it.
I
That
can
was
try
handed
checking
out.
with Robbie again tomorrow.
Yeah,
At the
Monday.
meeting.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
The tractor.
it's in there.
Purchase
On
and
Friday.
trailer and type of stuff.
Oh.
So you are welcome to that.
But we don't need this until next week.
Right.
Those are your copies?
Yeah.
I don't need them. I've looked at them. I'm good.
So I have questions on public safety still.
We also, Chris took off, the 8 nozzles and 4-foot hose, 1,500 feet of them.
Yep.
We took those off from this.
Yes.
4-foot hose, 1,500 feet?
Yes, and actually that was approved by the council to take those off. Wasn't we,
And
the council took it off before the council actually hasn't even handed us this budget. We're just going over it.
So you
This was too.
eliminated about, what, 20,000 there?
Yeah.
And I've got a note that went to capital.
It was already, yes,
It was in capital, I
It
think.
was in,
it was already there, I
It
think.
was in both places. One was as a placeholder. It's like the shed for Parks and Rec.
So yeah, that page 124, instead of 8475, it should be 6475.
and now it looks like law enforcement.
Deputies, pretty straightforward.
I don't have anything here.
Yeah.
Who sets up the rules on when cars have to be replaced? Who sets up the mileage year limit? Does that go by county? Or is that something that we set up on our own?
I think it's the
County?
sheriff, yeah,
It's probably Kevin Joyce. It's probably the sheriff.
yeah. Well,
And it's, yeah, it's probably based on,
we did get a list.
We got a list
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. Didn't we do a cruiser last year too?
Thought we did
I think we did.
did a few, right?
thought we did
one.
Yeah.
What was the big increase last
3
year?
last year.
Cruisers.
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 Okay.
And when they sell those cruisers, where does that money go?
When the county sells them?
When we
weren't
sell-
selling them, they gave them back to us.
They gave them back to us?
I thought they just told us that they're giving us 2 cruisers this year, and that was gonna be one of the things that the, code enforcement officer is going to use.
That's right,
And that one is already here.
right.
So last year we bought 3 cruisers, I believe.
That sounds right. 2 or 3, yeah.
I just have one question about that. So does the town own their equipment and we just hire their time?
We're contracted with them.
Yeah.
I think Tasha may be able to answer that better.
Talking about buying cruisers, are those town property then, or that we buying them for the county?
That's my question as well. Who owns them? And when we buy new ones and they sell the old ones, where does that money go? What happens to the old cruisers?
I'm thinking
They
we buy them for them. And they own them until they're due to be replaced.
So we buy cruisers for the county?
I think that we're contracted with,
With the county, right?
I don't know if Counselor Deacon would know. We're contracted with Cumberland County to
Mhm.
do this, right? And I think we are I feel like it may be, I'm not positive, like we're giving them the money for it, but because I've never seen cruisers go out to bid, or, I don't know if it's because of the limit, the price limit, or I don't know. Just I shouldn't answer this question. I'll stop talking.
Yeah, if we can get more information on the
The cruiser.
the
Got it.
cruiser
It's already
system,
done.
that would be good too, because it was 2 or 3 last year and it's 2 more this year.
Well, in here, it has cruiser cost each $58,000.
Yeah.
Fit up cost $40,000.
Yeah, it's like 100 grand
So,
plus per car.
and so in this budget, there's $156,000 for cruisers.
Yeah.
In code enforcement, a Ford Escape was given by the sheriff's department to the code enforcement officer for this year to use for code enforcement.
It's an SUV. I don't think it's an Escape. They
Oh,
had
okay.
they had a
Is
Ford
it
Escape that we
Escape,
purchased.
the SUV,
Um,
call it that?
the Ford Escape is a vehicle that the town purchased years ago, I believe.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that would be a question I have, because I had the same question last year, and I guess I'm not satisfied with the answers that I got. I would like to know the process for purchasing, replacing, and recovering
Who they belong to.
cruisers. Yeah. I'd like to know that cycle.
Owns who creates the policy.
So that
right?
is
That's it.
pretty,
I got it. Thank you.
pretty laid out here. Tasers, 8 times 2,200.
Yeah, it's expensive. I mean, if you gotta have it, you gotta have it.
Right.
But yeah,
K-9 costs 7,500.
What?
K-9 costs 7,500.
I'm over it.
Okay.
I wasn't at the time though, because it had been
know.
denied in one space. And then they came to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, so do I read this that they want 2 cruisers this in 26 for 98,000, including fit up?
yes,
But the total they're asking for is only 156. That's not enough to cover it.
well, that's the cruiser. The equipment is add-on.
The fit up cost is under equipment. If you see the 2 asterisks and then the little notes down below there, it says fit up cost $40,000.
Yeah, and they had some money left over in the budget last year, so
Okay.
that may account for
Well,
some of it.
2 cruisers then at 58 would be less than 156 if then they're gonna add in the,
Right.
Mhm.
With the add-up costs.
I mean, and then those add-up costs are gonna be more than 45 if there's 2 cruisers.
That's a good question.
It doesn't make
Mhm.
sense.
Yep. And I'm wondering if part of that is accounted for in, if you look up top, they didn't spend all of their budget last year.
7.
So I wonder if they're accounting for some of that to go here, and that's why they've underestimated. But it's good to clear it up. I think I still have my list from last year in my old binder too, of the vehicles. They did give
Yeah,
us a
we
breakdown
did.
last year.
We did ask for a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this matters, but I did have a note that they replace them every 4 years or 120,000 miles.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And that's why I put in there the policy. Who rates the policy on when they get replaced? That's all I had in there.
Another clarification question. They have the deputies' wages and then relief time. What's the definition of relief time?
That's time you're not working. Like vacation, holiday, personal day, you're not on. But your paid vacation days, paid sick day.
Oh, okay, so
I don't think they're paid here though.
Right, the relief time, I believe, would be what's listed under that.
Yeah.
Vacation,
Vacation,
holidays,
holidays.
personal ones.
oh,
but
okay, okay.
They might be
That's- and
included.
that's total for 8 deputies.
That might be a good clarifying question. Are those there because they are included in the salary?
Well, they probably
Well,
would be.
it's
I'm fairly certain they are,
it's really
but
like salaries and benefits, kind of.
yeah.
There's an, underneath there, it says vacation 72, holidays 104, personal days 16.
So can they just clarify yes or no, that is part of the salary?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is.
Me too.
Because then they got,
Yeah.
down below, they got health insurance and retirement and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Health insurance went down, actually. Am I wrong? 174.
Wow.
It was 201,000 last year and it went down to 174,000.
Wow.
Yep.
It must be, police must be under a separate health insurance package. I would assume.
Yeah, it isn't through the town.
Yeah.
No, it's probably through the sheriff's office.
Right.
Sure, that's where they get a way better rate.
Hey, anything else?
Did we ever ask what 44 by 160 means for tires? Is that 11 cars? I don't know what that means. 44 by 160.
I think
That just means 11 cars?
I have no idea. Under oil and tires.
Yeah. Same thing with the air card. 46 by 12 by 8. What's that mean?
Air card.
Yeah. I think the air card is how they get like their internet and stuff for their shkabods or
Okay.
their computers in the car. I just don't know what the numbers mean in parentheses.
So is it pretty typical for us to be paying for replacement vehicles every year? I would assume.
They cycle through. They go on rotation. Yeah. But 2 and 3 a year seems a little excessive.
Well, when there's only 8.
Exactly.
Or do they keep a spare? They have 10.
Don't know. I don't know how many cars they have in their
They got
inventory.
ones in the shop.
It's a good question.
We have a list of how many cars they have, right?
Is it last year still accurate?
No, we got a new
List
list this
of-
year.
Oh,
Yeah.
8 cars.
Mhm.
8 cars.
Okay.
So we, well,
So it looks like each deputy has their own vehicle.
they usually take them.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Yep.
Many times they get a call right from their house.
Mm-hmm. Any more questions for the law enforcement section?
I don't have a question. Can I point out a few things? Just comparing the budgets from last year?
Yeah.
Uniforms. Oh, no, that didn't. And cell phones and whatnot went up about $1,100.
Mhm.
And then oil and tires went up a little under $3,000. Vehicle maintenance went up about $1,200.
Who's doing the maintenance and the oil and tires? Don't we do that here?
I don't think we work on county cars, but that's
Yeah,
the
it's
ones
probably
that they,
the county has a garage.
Probably have
In the
their
garage.
own.
Interesting.
that's it. So I just wanted to point those out.
Anything else on that?
Mm-mm.
Think for me.
Nope.
Okay, public work, general assistance. And I know I got some answers earlier. Because we questioned the town manager's assistant. It looked like there's,
Yes, but the general assistance person is the same person that does,
The assistant, okay.
so looked like her
Actually, the
salary.
stipend.
did you get that answer?
the town
Cause I did.
manager- You did get it.
I did really quickly. He said, so the question I asked was the administrative assistant's salary was decreased. Was this a typo? We noticed the general assistant's stipend increased, but we would still like clarification. The reduction was not a typo. That would be the amount of general admin salary. Last year had a little more in the salary line in anticipation of a promotion. The general assistance was increased since the stipend had not been increased in years.
Heidi, can you read that answer one more time? Sorry.
Yep, just a moment. The reduction was not a typo. That would be the amount of general admin salary. So that's in regards to under general administration, her salary, I think it was 900 and something dollars less.
Okay.
Last year had a little more in the salary line in anticipation of a promotion. The general assistance was increased since the stipend has not been increased in years.
Okay. So there was no promotion last year. So they took that extra money out of the budget for that section and gave it to stipend. Okay.
What's the
There-
the largest item there, then what is that?
The application's evaluated under state guidelines.
What's that?
People come and people that need assistance, sometimes Tasha had mentioned like the county, there might be an emergency. She's always on call for general assistance where, I don't know what the situations are that may arise. Like maybe somebody,
So this is
You might have-
fulfilling the applications.
yes.
Okay.
There was something that Tasha had mentioned and maybe somebody wrote it down. We save money because if we paid for this service, I thought it was like $120, something. It's a very high rate per hour.
It is.
So we're saving the town money by having this person work in this role as well as her administrative assistant role.
That it? Public Works.
My understanding is on the salaries that it shot up last year because we no longer contracted for some of this plowing.
Yes.
That was about 200,000 a year. Okay. So then this year, the proposal is another roughly 100,000. That's probably estimated on projected storms to a great extent.
Some of it was, yes.
The projected
And,
number of times they gotta go out and plow.
and trees, yes. And the trees were a big thing too this year.
The what?
The trees, arborists and trees were a big thing this year.
Had a number of storms that he figured. I thought it was 8, but I don't see where I have that.
They figured 8, you said?
8 storms. And I don't know, that might be just a number I picked out.
No, that's probably how many times I paid my plow guy. So probably.
Don't pay him anymore. I have a note, if I'm reading it right, equipment maintenance,
Which page?
138. Where we have miscellaneous vehicle repairs and parts in-house.
Mm-hmm.
And the next line is hired out. I have a note that says the council was gonna swap the amount, the request.
Oh, I don't have that one written down.
No, I
I don't either.
Well, maybe that
We
was
should-
just something I heard him say.
We should ask and clarify.
What am I asking?
Uh,
Or what am I typing in my notes, I guess?
Page 138, in-house versus hired out vehicle repairs. Are the requests accurate?
Were the amounts swapped.
Yep.
And that could have been something that they just talked about. I wrote it down and didn't cross it out.
Yeah. Did they say where the Steep Falls light fixtures are going? Are those downtown? Is that the park? Is that all over Steep Falls?
There were a certain amount of them.
Yeah, I think there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
Page are you on?
Walking district.
Page 142. Oh, for the walking path?
Not for the path, but down in
Okay.
town.
Okay, in town. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going from Boundary Road
Oh,
or in front of, across the street from Pine Root Farm.
Okay. Okay.
There'll be one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Make its way
I
in.
don't know,
Go down towards, is that the library down there?
there's one across from the library, but in between,
Down by the railroad
there
tracks.
may be a
and-
couple,
Yeah.
Excellent.
because like they said,
Is there,
it is a walking village.
is there a sidewalk there? I can't
No,
even remember.
don't think
There
so.
isn't.
Yep.
Okay.
This much.
Yeah, on the side of the road.
This much. If you look at a satellite view, you can still see where the sidewalk used to be like 70 years ago.
That's awesome.
because they had that big building there by the gazebo running and
Yeah.
the railroad and, yeah.
I've got a note, tree removal on page
Oh, good.
144.
Me too.
That amount is 3 days, $2,500 per, because they need a
Yeah, they need a bucket truck.
bigger bucket truck.
Yep.
So
That's just them renting the truck?
That's the
Mhm.
truck.
2,500 a day.
Because they hired, Greg Grovo, who is
He's my brother.
amazing. He's what?
He's my brother.
Oh, he's your brother?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Full disclosure, I didn't know that, but he took down trees at my house and it was amazing.
What's his name?
Yours have?
Greg Grovo. So if you have trees,
Just down a little.
Well, that's why
Okay.
I asked if that was necessary, for it to be that high, but if it's just for the truck rental, and then the other amount was for arborist gear, because the town currently doesn't have any.
Yep. The arborist, that's a
Right.
one-time fee.
Right.
He's a shared employee between rec and public works.
Nice. Was there a question on impact fees with Parks and Rec or Public Works? Did I see a question on that?
Yes, there was.
there was.
Took your note on the comments on, I was like, I'm listening to Carol. I have no personal, there's nothing coming to me. She said I don't need to say it in regards to other people commenting, so
Nope, you don't, you have no financial gain
none whatsoever. Just
if available in
a proud
budget.
smile, that's all.
Proud smile.
Yes.
Yeah. We did.
I guess I'll have to, I apologize to everyone that you didn't get the emails that I thought you were gonna get.
No worries, we got time.
And that's all I had.
The only one I have noted in Public Works for impact fees was new equipment on page 155. Do we have impact fees for anything else in there?
Can't use impact fees for anything in the operating budget, I don't believe.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
I don't know.
We'd have to refer back to the paper that he gave us tonight. I think impact fees have to be in the capital, I thought. They have to be in capital projects, right?
We should get
Yeah,
clarification on that.
Do you remember them saying that?
I
Budget
don't, I
request.
don't, but we need Steve Nesbit. Where are you, Steve?
I know,
Because he would know,
because I asked him the other day, can't we use the,
right? And I remember him answering, but I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, I'm still not,
Those
I'm
things
still
are
not
weird.
clear on those because they were throwing the impact
Yeah.
fees around for like a
Yes.
lot of stuff.
They were.
And it sounds like Willy Wonka, but if
Oh.
you can't use it,
here we go. In this question, and on this paper that we got
Yes.
tonight. He will let Zach Moser answer this, but Public Works is not allowed to collect impact fees for infrastructure growth. We're allowed to collect road impact fees from the new subdivisions, and we are currently doing this.
okay.
The transfer station is allowed to collect impact fees for growth, and this is one option we are looking at.
All right. So the impact fees I have listed then would come from the road. Impact fees from the new subdivisions, which would make sense. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know more in one of our meetings about those impact fees because it's a bonus. We have to treat it as a bonus. It doesn't mean you're gonna get them. All right.
On page 148,
Mhm.
I wrote tire machine, but it says shovels, rake, shop tools. It's the same thing that it said last year, which I mean, they need new things yearly probably because they're using them on all the time.
I wrote tire machine too. I think they're
Okay.
getting a
So
tire
they're getting a
machine.
tire machine with
Yeah.
And I
Like
put
to
that
get
they're
a
spreading
tire
cost of the
machine,
tools out.
that. Okay.
So they're
Very
probably
good.
getting different things each year. But they're getting a tire machine. Yes, good to know.
Write one of those notes that would be
Oh,
helpful.
what's a tire machine?
Takes the rubber off.
No idea.
Takes
Takes it off the rim.
Oh,
takes the tire off the rim,
hey.
puts it back on.
You don't want to get your fingers in there. Is there any more on Public Works? Well, I have a note that CMP,
Doubled.
yeah, it's CMP is gonna go up, or it went
It
up.
did.
Yep.
Okay, do we want to hold off on these until our next meetings? Is council won't hand this to us until,
Wish Steve could be here and might help us a lot more than, he's a huge blessing to all of us.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, we're gonna miss his institutional knowledge,
Always get an education.
always.
Are we stopping at, is it Public Works?
I would like to ask that, I'll write it in here, but I would like to know, to have the, donation budget request, packets of information, the things that they submitted to us before Wednesday. I'd love to have them on Saturday.
I agree.
Yes, please.
you won't have anyone answer the email until Monday.
Monday.
Till Monday, because it's closed tomorrow.
They're
Well,
closed
we could
tomorrow?
Probably, if we went on Saturday, we probably get them on Monday.
Monday. We need them. We're gonna vote on them on Wednesday.
They're voting on them, or are they just listening
Well, I
on
mean,
Wednesday?
listening,
Town, yeah, the council.
but
will-
knowing what they're coming in for, is to have them.
Yes.
I
We can ask on Saturday.
think it's been changed from
Ask on Saturday. Mary?
what I thought it was, instead of having donations come in and go before the council on Wednesday. And then the council would decide sometime after. So that whoever is requesting a donation isn't sitting out here.
Well, that's how we asked
That's
that
right.
they
We
do
asked last
that.
year.
That's what we did last year.
I think it's going to be, I think it's gonna be, when they ask for it is when
At the
it's
same
decided.
time, really?
They're gonna do that
I
this year?
believe so.
Oh,
See, I don't find that appropriate.
I think we said that last year.
Did.
We did. We asked them not to do that.
Huh.
Well, we will be there. It's joint, right? We'll be there. We'll be able to ask questions and such. And
Yes, yeah.
Saturday is a joint meeting?
Yeah.
With the council?
that's Wednesday. Or no, Saturday.
Am I correct that it shouldn't be a super long meeting because they've already gone over most of this? How
On
can they,
Saturday.
how can they hand us operating without donations?
Without what?
Without donations.
I didn't think we were. I thought we were doing it on the 29th.
That's what Steve said, that we should, when we get donations,
Is when
it should be 2 weeks after that, that we have to have everything back.
Oh,
We should get some clarification on that as well.
But
They
that's-
sent this to us early this year, correct? So if we're not ready,
It's
then
much earlier.
we're not ready. Yeah. But yeah, clarification on the timeline would be good. 2 weeks after donations. That was my understanding as well.
So the 29th date would be.
Yeah.
this for the right year.
I do, I don't think I do, not with me.
I thought, I know.
hang
I
on.
do.
Never know. I don't think I do. Oh, but you know what? I probably have it in my email. You remember about when it was sent?
I think February 6th.
When?
February 6th. What's your question on it? I have it right here.
If we're doing donations on the 19th,
Yes.
and
6
then-
PM.
Yeah, then we do,
Oh, so Saturday is finalizing the capital budget. That's us giving the, okay. And it says to review and pass operating budget to budget committee is the schedule for Saturday. And then
what's the date for Saturday?
the 15th.
Okay.
So they want us to give them,
To finalize the capital budget.
Right.
Review and pass operating budget. What?
So it's not gonna be a very long meeting.
It shouldn't be.
No.
And then
The 19th is special counsel to review
Since
proposed
the
budget,
19th special council,
donations.
29th budget committee returns operating budget.
19th is at 6, right?
Yes,
Budget.
but we're not meeting between the time they give it to us.
we don't have a schedule yet. We should make, could we make, do I need to make a motion that we're just plan our next meetings for after we receive the operating budget, which we're supposed to be getting it
Saturday?
Saturday, but I would have to guess they probably, I actually wonder if that's why they're making those decisions on donations that night.
So that they can give everything, donations and the operating budget on Saturday, right? Which would be,
Says here the 15th, Saturday,
Right.
and donations on Wednesday, the 19th.
So how can they can't pass us the operating budget because donations are a part of that.
Right.
So they can't do that
It's
on
a
the
part of
15th.
that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess, this is just a guess.
Okay.
That the reason why they're doing the donations the way they're doing it is so that they can give us the donations budget on the 19th after their meeting.
So we probably shouldn't meet between Saturday and Wednesday.
Right, I say we
It's after that.
wait to,
Yeah, wait.
we could probably schedule, if Steve will be here Saturday, is everybody else here Saturday?
Mhm.
I am not. Schedule our next meetings on,
I'm not here.
you're not here Saturday.
what days are off limits for you?
For
Do you
me?
know- Yeah, do you know which
Or
days?
like during the week? It doesn't matter during the week.
Okay. What about Saturday, the 22nd?
There is a comprehensive public meeting here from
Oh.
10 to 1.
Okay.
Which is why they probably didn't schedule
Yep.
anything then.
Yeah.
I'm open on the 20th and the 21st.
What's
I
20th
have
is
time.
what, Thursday?
It's a Thursday.
I can do that.
I could probably do that.
And I could do the 21st as well.
It's Friday night. I
Yep.
don't like
So
Thursday
you're
night.
talking about not doing the 19th?
We have to
We
be.
are doing the 19th, but that's donations.
But we're
That's
setting up,
when the people will be coming in and
So the problem is they're giving us the operating budget on Saturday.
but
But
without
the donations are not a part of that.
Okay.
But in order for us to look at the whole budget and make our decision, we need the donation piece.
Mhm.
So they're not giving us that till Wednesday.
Okay.
So we need a meeting after the 19th.
Okay.
Because we're supposed to turn the budget back to them on the 29th.
I can't be here on the 29th. Other than that, I'm fine.
It's usually not a, it's
Yeah.
not a,
Usually it's the
Yeah,
chair
I
on the
mean,
29th. The
yeah.
chair will stand up. I mean, he can be here. But you're not. It's not a big deal. As long as the chair is here. Joe will be here. Joe, you're our cheerleader.
29th.
So are we looking at the 20th and the 21st?
20th, Thursday,
That works for me.
Yep.
works for me.
6 o'clock?
Hopefully it works for Steve.
6 o'clock.
Do we wanna
Does that,
backup date in case it doesn't work?
does that work for them?
Oh, yeah.
So the 19th and 20th you're talking about.
Right.
Right, it'd be a joint meeting on the 19th. You with us and the council.
And then the 20th, just our committee.
Yes.
Okay.
I would guess on the 20th, right? We have all time to review these things on our own. We could come in with our suggestions and motions ready to go, right?
Yep.
It might be a little bit quicker if we just come in with what we think we each want to change and, it passes or fails between us and then we.
As long as they can get us answers to the questions prior to. Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah.
They've done well. I think.
Well, 19th and 20th. We have another whole week that we could do something.
We do. Yeah, so we could use a Tuesday as a fallback.
So if we had to do,
Should we wait till we're with the possibility of Steve?
Yeah, we wanted to get a date on for people who are not going to be here.
I
So
don't know if
currently,
there's a workshop that night or not.
I'm open. 20th, 21st, and the week after. Okay. I can't be here till 6, though.
so 19th and 20th, 6 o'clock.
Tuesday. There is a town, did you just make, oh no, okay, you didn't. There's a town council meeting on the 25th. Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
A meeting and not a workshop.
I'm open any day that week, as long as it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we can figure it out on Saturday. Finalize it.
Yeah, could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
You
we have
guys
to
can
ask-
just email me and let's
Do we need to make a motion to adjourn? Good.
Are
Do we have
good?
to ask them about the meeting on the 20th?
Oh, yeah.
Recording people?
Yeah,
She say thumbs up.
Okay, good.
okay, now,
Motion to adjourn?
second that.
all in favor?